I signed last year, and so I'm catching in the Arizona Rookie League, and I'm coming from California, so I kind of think I have a good, feel of warm weather or whatever. Well, there's this thing in Arizona called extreme heat warnings, where it's like 120 degrees plus humidity, and as a catcher, you're always like, you tend to lose a lot of water, whatever. So, like I was catching, game was over. I lost like 10 pounds of sweat. It was like an extreme heat day. It was crazy. So after the game, we had won the game, and so my buddies, Jet Bandy up there in the California League, and my buddy Andy Workman, they were like, "Yo, Scioscia, man, let's go to Boston's. It's a great little joint. Got some pizza, got some beers, whatever." So I'm like, "All right." So I go to Boston's, and I sit down, and I'm usually a very social person. I tend to be like, very outgoing, whatever. But I was very like quiet, and like I felt like crap. So I was I was sitting in Boston's, and all of a sudden, I stand up because I think I have to go to the bathroom, and I'm in a full body cramp, and I'm just like, oh man, this is not good. So I sit back down, and I'm kind of like just getting a little woozy and whatever. And they're looking at me like, I have 3 heads. They're like, "So, what is going on?" And the next thing I remember is that I'm looking up on the floor, and Jet Bandy's holding my head, and he's like on the phone with my mom, because my mom was in California. He's like, "Mrs. Scioscia, your son, he's not dead, but he's okay. He collapsed." And so I had fallen down, I collapsed. He had caught me, and he would call the paramedics, whatever. And they're just like, doing all these tests and stuff, and so I'm like, all right, well, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. They come, I just had water. So, 5 minutes go by, I sign this waiver saying, no, I don't want to go to the hospital, I'm totally good. So I finally get my pizza. They had left, and I get my pizza. And before I even take a bite of it, all I remember is just going blank, and I fall, boom, face first into my pizza, and they call the paramedics. They call them back. So the second time, it's mandatory, you got to take me to the hospital. So I'm like rushed to the hospital with pizza all over my face, like 3 IVs attached to me, and the worst part was I didn't even get to eat my pizza till like 9 o'clock that night.